Hello and welcome, beautiful souls, to my channel, Light of Shaya. My channel is all about illuminating the spiritual path forward and bringing you uplifting messages of love and light. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to those of you who are new, and welcome to those of you who are returning. So today, I'm bringing you one of my daily messages from Spirit. This particular reading is going to be relationship focused. For those of you who are interested in relationships and learning about them. And that isn't to say this is for singles. This is for anybody who seems to have some difficulties when it comes to relationships. This idea kind of came to me this morning. I only got about 5 hours of sleep last night. I'm feeling kind of groggy right now, but I am sipping on some coffee that I made. But the idea here was, Spirit really called me today. I'm going to blame it on Mercury being in retrograde. But so I woke up this morning and it was like 5 o'clock. I went to bed at around like 12:30. And I was sleeping so good. Interestingly enough, though, before I went to bed, I kept seeing tarot card spreads. And I kept seeing the Ace of Pentacles, which I thought was interesting. So new opportunities coming in, likely for myself and maybe for you guys. Maybe this is a little bit about this, especially if we're talking about relationship. Maybe some of you may be starting a new relationship that might be financially abundant. But the idea, I have this thing where I kind of ramble about because I get lots of ideas and I don't know where to start. But I woke up this morning. I'm like, what the heck? I turn around and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try going back to sleep. But something was nagging me, and then I felt a presence in the room, and I was like, and it wasn't a very nice one either. But it doesn't really scare me anymore. I used to get really scared when I was younger. Now that I'm on the spiritual path, though, it's a little bit easier to deal with. It's more like, okay, well, that's just what it is. Just focus on love and light whenever you guys happen to deal with those situations. Focus on love and light and send whatever is with you, near you. Send it love and light as well, because lower vibrational energies, they especially those that are attuned to the path of self-service, the shadow aspects, they can't be near beings of high vibration because it actually polarizes them, and it weakens them, so to speak, on their path. And that's the path that they choose to walk. So no judgment there from the universe or from us. But that's why there's so much pain and suffering in this world at times caused by people, and we don't understand it. It's part of the soul's journey. But anyhow, I digress. My cup of water fell down, and the straw that comes along with it broke in half. So that was kind of unfortunate because it was my favorite cup. But anyway, speaking of relationships here, I'm going to be opening up with the Isis Oracle. This deck is probably my favorite oracle, but it's so complex. And that's why I try to avoid using it, because whenever I do, this is going to be a long reading, guys. Almost all of my readings end up being at least like 45 minutes. I know some of you don't exactly have the time. I'm trying my best to shorten these, but these messages, a lot of this is channeling. And I use the tarot more so as a means to convey the message, if you will, whatever's going on in your life. So we're going to be looking at relationships, and I'm going to be sharing with you patterns. So within my recent past, I had a falling out with somebody that I thought had a lot of potential. And this made me very, very sad. However, I had to turn around and take a look at it and say, well, what did you do to cause this? And this for me was very difficult to understand because, the ego loves to resist. The ego is all about resistance. Look at this card here. Soul Retrieval, Deep Soul Healing with the Goddess. Yeah, talk about soul healing here. And the idea here is I recognize some patterns that I've had in relationships in past that actually cause them to end prematurely or cause a falling out later on down the line. My last relationship was pretty good. It was decent. That particular partner was very different from the usual partner that I would fall for. And I decided to give it a go, and it was successful. We were together for five almost what's it 5 years 3 months, something like that. Very nice guy. Enjoyed his company a lot, but I recognize that I was actually emotionally unavailable to a certain extent. This is before my awakening and realizing that this was even really truly going on. And I kind of blamed it also on the fact that I have a Venus in Aquarius, but that's not really an excuse to be to a certain extent emotionally unavailable, right? And so I recognize that I have a tendency of wanting to be right all the time. When people give me constructive criticism, sometimes I don't listen. Sometimes I do, depending on the criticism. This depending on what subject it is. But in this case, like when it comes to relationship, I don't exactly have a mentor when it comes to this. A lot of this is self-healing, and a lot of you too, being healers, being light workers, are likely dealing with very similar situations where you're wondering, why do I keep attracting the same people into my life? Well, there's a lesson behind every single person. And some of you likely have been dealing with situations like this and are likely wondering, like, what the heck? Like, I'm so over this. I'm done. I can't. And trust me, I know. I've been there. As a matter of fact, if you would have brought this up to me even like a week and a half ago, I would have been in the same boat. I'm like, fuck this. I can't do this. I'm over it. Da 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 da. Right? And then I something happened. I don't know what the heck happened that really just brought me into alignment with myself. And I recognized that the problem here wasn't other people. Although granted, there are issues with other people. They're human beings though, and they're all on their own journey as well. But the true issue here at the end of the day when it comes to partnerships was me. Because I was either enabling certain behaviors, I wasn't necessarily recognizing my worth with certain people, and I recognize that because of my desire to win, very Five of Swords energy. Remember, there are no winners in an argument. I recognize, and I'm brutal honesty here. I can be emotionally manipulative at times. And I never saw that in myself until recently. And this is kind of what the spiritual journey is about. It's about looking at these patterns, looking at ourselves, being brutally honest, and then saying, how do I change this? Well, if you don't like something about yourself and it makes you very uncomfortable, instead of walking away from it, what you should be doing, especially on the spiritual path, is looking at it objectively and saying, where does this stem from? In my case, there's been a lot of change in my life, and I've been a little bit unstable because I'm not used to my life being upended in the way it is. I mean, granted, this year in general, 2020, for those of you watching at a later date, it has been all about uplifting, upending things. It's like there's been 2 tower moments collectively, so to speak, and I believe there's another one coming based off the pandemic with the COVID and all that stuff. Another one coming up, another wave coming up, and then I believe later this year there's something else coming up in the collective, but we don't know what it is. Some other massive change, likely in the fall. But everybody's lives have been upended, and this is and we've had I believe it's 7 retrogrades this year. 7 retrogrades. This is all about introspection and really analyzing things and going within and really trying to figure things out. A lot of people who are resisting change will find themselves falling behind and feeling very, very lost. So for those of you who have been attracting the same partners, narcissistic partners, emotionally unavailable partners, player types, the player who's hot and cold, in and out of your life, somebody who gives you promises, love bombing, all that wonderful, wonderful stuff that you've been going through over and over and over again. This reading is going to be for you. And I hope that you can take my wisdom, because the idea here is that you have more control than you think. Instead of putting yourself in the 8 of Swords of this card keeps wanting to come out. I'm going to pull it. Instead of putting yourself in the 8 of Swords energy of like the victim mentality, the damsel in distress, and this goes for any men out there as well. This isn't just like women or anything like that. Men can do this too in their own way. They're looking for somebody to save them from their lives. No, the only person that can save you from yourself is you. So let's go ahead and get started with this reading. What messages do we have, Spirit, from the Isis Oracle deck? Okay. So we have, look at this. Wow. Oh, wow. That is powerful. Okay, so we have soul retrieval, deep soul healing with the goddess. I love the artwork in this Oracle deck. I cannot get enough of it. I have an affinity for the Egyptian pantheon as well. I've always had a love for Thoth, the Egyptian god of the moon. I believe he's the only male god associated with the moon. Just taking a sip of my coffee here, sorry. The brother in darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. So this is all about empowerment, you guys. Give me just a moment here while I pull out the book, and I'll probably read an excerpt out of both of these for you. Give me one moment. I went ahead and pulled up these cards. I kind of, I'm going to be honest, I don't have these cards memorized. But clearly I have a thing for picking the cards, if you will. The synchronicities and the channeling is so on point here, guys. Just listen to this for the soul retrieval card here. I'm going to read one excerpt here, and then just like tiny pieces from different parts of the interpretations here. So with the soul retrieval card here, Isis, healing goddess, now offers you spiritual restoration and deep soul healing through the art of soul retrieval, reclaiming pieces of you lost through trauma, old and new. Soon, you will enjoy greater wellness, energy, and power, as well as the opening of gifts and soul abilities you did not know you had. Just want to make sure you guys can see this. Listen to this. Did you know that pieces of you can be trapped in the past, in traumatic experiences, and in relationships, even those long since gone, because part of your power remains with another? This can happen because of permission subconsciously given for them to hold a piece of your spirit. Then the time comes for such permissions to be revoked, and the pieces of self to be reclaimed and restored to the soul. Forgiveness can be a good place to begin the work more consciously. This is hard spiritual work sometimes because we can want to be right or justified in what we feel or perceive, and we don't want to be harmed again by allowing inappropriate behavior. So when you forgive someone, forgiveness is coming. Forgiveness is one of those things that is always on any spiritual path. I mean, regardless of spirituality, religion, one of the things that's always advocated is forgiveness. And that is incredibly important on the journey. Forgiveness of others and forgiveness of yourself. Because, for example, in my case, I had spent quite a bit of time beating myself up about it and saying, how did you allow yourself to behave in such a way? It was very uncharacteristic of me, and with all the retrogrades going on right now, especially Pluto being in retrograde, that's the shadow self. That's about transformation. Pluto rules. Pluto is the god of the dead. You know, it's about transformation. It's Scorpio energy of really just taking the shadow self and transmuting that energy, which is in congruence here with soul retrieval. This is about going back to the past and reclaiming parts of yourself that were left there. The oracle also indicates you have feeling ability, that you are capable of channeling soul energy to help others forgive and reclaim their spirit too. So this is about unconditional love. You know, the best thing that you can do for yourself is forgive the person whom you associate with hurt. Because I don't even want to say they hurt you. I mean, in some cases they can. If you were ever in some sort of like physically abusive relationship or currently are in one, please figure out a way to get out of it. There are plenty of resources out there, and the best thing that you can do is figure out, even if you have to move cities, find a friend, family that you can stay with. Figure it out, because I completely understand where you guys are coming from. I've never had to go through it, but I've heard the horror stories. Now, remember how I was telling you guys that I was feeling a negative entity around me this morning? It was very dark in nature. It was like a shadowed figure. It looked to be in the form of a man. And interestingly enough, the brother in darkness is coming through here. And listen to this. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. The brother in darkness indicates that there is negative energy either within you or outside of you, but directed towards you, that is providing you with the spiritual test, beloved initiate. You shall overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. One of the big things that I do want to tell you, for those of you, I suffered from sleep paralysis a lot when I was younger. I suffered from a lot of like psychic attacks or something. I saw, demonic little girls and things like that. And I don't even know about the word demon anymore because it means very different things in different cultures. In particular with Christianity, there's a sense of like, evil that comes from that. I wouldn't even call them that because in Greek, demon or daemon was, I can't remember, but it was like a guardian of some sort. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. There is a test you are currently moving through because you are ready to progress more deeply into wisdom, light, acceptance, and inner peace. The test is the guise of a negative energy source either within you or apparently outside you. In truth, we are all one, and the world is our mirror for whatever healing task lies within, even though sometimes the source of difficulty appears to be external rather than opportunity for us to gain mastery with our own responses through inner healing. Now, this is what I had forgotten about what I wanted to channel, or what I was trying to channel, rather. When you encounter a person who triggers you, when you encounter a behavior that triggers you from somebody else, that person is serving as a mirror for you. That is incredibly important to recognize and understand. So if there's a particular behavior that triggers you with somebody, that person is likely here to teach you a lesson. What is the lesson that lies behind that? Look at that, lovers. Some of you may be dealing with a new love connection. And so sorry guys, I'm still tired from, like I said, not being able to sleep. The night before I only got like 2 hours. Anyway, the idea here is that people are mirrors for us. It's time, if you're on the spiritual journey, either you're going to vacillate and say, oh yeah, I'm spiritual and I kind of do the work, but I don't really, but I kind of do, so I'm still spiritual. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that is not how it works. I'm so sorry to burst your bubble. And you want to know why I know that? Because I was there too. If you guys have been watching my channel, I've been sharing my story because I feel it's important to share my story in order for you guys to see the progress, in order for you guys to see that it is possible. I don't care what your upbringing is. I don't care how toxic you feel you are. I don't care if you have issues with self-worth. You are a beautiful being of love and light. And it's time for you to step into your power. If you are here and questioning and wondering, it's time to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to wake up. It's time to stand in your power because you are incredibly beautiful. Okay, let's get into this then. So, look at that, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we're doing this today. Interesting. I did say new love, didn't I? Interesting. Some of you may have had a new love opportunity in the past. I'm pulling from the bottom of the deck here. You guys want to see here. I don't often... Oh, look at this. This is interesting. I'll be clarifying a little bit later with the Thoth deck, since I've been really feeling that deck lately. Let's see. Look at that. Lovers. I'm going to go ahead and pull this card too. Underlying energy, the King of Cups. Some of you may be feeling very sensitive at this time, but there's a sense of control with your emotions. It looks like you're stepping into a more balanced emotional state here with the King of Cups because he's very masculine in nature. The masculine usually does not express his feelings as easily as the feminine does. The feminine is more receptive and open when it comes to emotions. For those of you who aren't really familiar with the whole divine masculine, divine feminine, when your soul comes down to incarnate on this planet, Following the rules of, or the Hermetic principles, one of the laws is the law of duality. With the law of duality, that means for every opposite there's, or for every dark there's a light. You know, opposites attract, although like and like does attract on a smaller scale. But the idea here is your soul has to follow this rule as well. So when your soul comes down here, it gets split into two. It gets split into masculine and feminine energies. And this is what the twin flame journey is all about. For those of you who are awakened to that particular journey, this may be twin flame, it doesn't really matter. I have been on that journey myself, and I find that the whole title and the whole idea behind it is so toxic. And I only want to say this, I already know somebody just clicked off. It's so toxic because you get obsessed, you become obsessed with the person. The person you should be obsessed with isn't the other half. It's you. It's you. You should be focusing on yourself. When you come into union with self, you become you come into union with your twin flame. Your twin flame is you. It's literally you. I mean your soul, the other part of your soul. But you're still whole, if that makes any sense, because it's very difficult to understand for us given the fact that duality is a dual here on this physical earth. And since energy is dense, it's very clear when something is black and something is white, when something is dark, when something is light, whatever, right? So anyway, I felt that message had to come out for somebody. So it looks like there was love coming in here with the Ace of Cups within your recent past. Some new opportunity came in. This could have been from a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be. This could be the energy of the person. Now, interestingly enough, we also have Earth sign. We have Gemini here as well. So some of you could be dealing with an Earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Six of Wands speaks of victory and forward movement. So it looks like perhaps somebody was feeling, I'm getting the sense of almost on top of the world with this. Very happy, very feeling successful. And then we come to this, and I'm getting feelings of resistance all of a sudden. Seven of Cups, some sort of choices or illusions needing to be made. And then we have a second 7 here. 7 is a very spiritual, holy number. I mean, all numbers really are, but some are more attuned to like this higher realms. So 7 is about Christ consciousness. It's the 7th chakra. It's about knowing the interconnectedness of all beings. Knowing that everything is one and the same, that that duality is one and the same. That the good and bad are one and the same, oddly enough. But it looks like somebody was feeling a little indecisive. There were some choices likely that needed to be made. And with the 7 of Pentacles, there's a sense of an investment having been made. 7 of Pentacles, interesting, it did want to come out of the Thoth deck earlier. So it's likely that somebody was investing into something. You could have been investing in this new love here. But there seems to be some sort of cycle that's ended now. With the 3 of Pentacles speaks of collaboration. This is a union of mind, body, and spirit. This is all Pentacles here. So you may be working on some sort of project. This could be very well your energy here, King of Pentacles, of you coming. I don't know why I got 7 of Cups. Should I go or should I stay? What should I do? Should I move forward? Should I do this? Should I do that? Lots of that energy, if that makes sense. Maybe somebody decided instead to focus on money here. 3 of Pentacles is kind of holding this whole thing together. This could be a new love coming in. So I was reading this as past, but this could be a new love coming in. A new person for some of you who's coming in. I see. Okay, yes, that's what it is. That's where the messed up part went. Okay. I was reading this as past, because this is usually my past column, but I'm starting to see now that this is coming out of some sort of cycle from the past. Okay, so Ace of Cups. Somebody's coming in, likely, who's going to give you a lot of attention. This is your energy here. Remember, if you're, this is a general reading, so this could be the energy of your person, for those of you who are wondering. It looks like you're going to feel like you have a lot of options. You have a lot of choices to choose from, but which one is going to be yours? Now, if you see here, look at all the different cups and all the, only one of them contains a heart. One of them contains illumination. One of them has a snake. Some of you could be dealing with people who are snakes, so to speak. One of them brings you clarity and illumination. Another one, romance. Another one, true love. Another one, stability. And another one, mystery. And you are likely spending time cultivating yourself and cultivating your money. 7 of Pentacles here and 3 of Pentacles, working. You've aligned yourself, or will be aligning yourself, mind, body, spirit, to start manifesting the life of your dreams here on the physical plane. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles has everything that he needs in terms of abundance. And abundance comes in various forms. He's very grounded, however, and he sees business opportunities. He sees the big picture. Always moving towards the future, looking at what is the return of investment on this. And likely seeing the congruence here, maybe that's what the 7 of Cups is when this new love comes in for you. Now with the World, there seems to be some sort of major cycle closing out in your life. This is a fantastic card to have. This is about opening yourself up to new possibilities. And putting the past to rest. It's about moving forward. Now 4 of Wands here speaks of stability, more stability here. Union. This is the 11-11 card. Some of you are likely dealing with the twin flame coming in. Lovers. I mean, the congruence here, I'm just seeing the 4 of Wands, 11-11 next to the Lovers. You may not be expecting this. If you've been doing the work, this could be your, likely you are a feminine if you're watching, but there are sometimes divine masculines who are attuned to the path. This is likely your divine masculine coming in. For a few of you, this may be a same-sex relationship because we do have the 2 kings, but that doesn't have to be the case. And when I say same-sex, obviously, it could be man, woman, doesn't matter. Let's see here. What's this Ace of Cups about? We're going to pull a card. Who is this person? Oh, the Eon. This is likely a very divine connection. Clearly, with the 11-11 here, 4 of Wands and the Lovers. And bottom of the deck here, we have the Knight of Cups. This is likely the person stepping into your life. You may be at a crossroads with this love, however. You may not be wanting to commit to this initially, simply because the Eon, or the Judgment, speaks about release and renewal. This could be a very enlightening experience for you. Now, I want you guys to see this 8 of Wands here. 8 of Wands there, bottom of the deck. And the Princess of Cups has been wanting to come out as well. Somebody who's very, very dreamy when it comes to love. Somebody who has, look at that, 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And Ace of Swords. 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. Lots of messages trying to come from the bottom of the deck. Some sort of clarity regarding a connection, likely for some of you. If you are already dealing with this, it's likely that there's some sort of conversation you two will have. But this is a very spiritual connection in nature that may actually upgrade you, so to speak. Especially if it's twin flame. What cycle closed out with the World here? Knight of Wands. Okay. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sag. One more card about this Knight of Wands. Fool. Wow. This is about brand new beginnings, guys. The Fool. This World, you closed out a cycle. Some of you may have left behind a fire sign. An Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be. This could be your energy of standing confident, being confident, being very self-assured, being very self-sufficient, really just standing in your power. And this is actually helping propel you forward. Who's the Lovers about? So some of you could be dealing with the Gemini because the Lovers is here. I didn't mention that. Look at this. Wheel of Fortune. Lovers. Who's this Lovers about? Angels. Star. Wow. Okay. This is going to be a very healing connection. There's that Ace of Pentacles. Moving forward. Very quickly. We got 9 of Cups here. Okay. So, Wheel of Fortune. Lovers. Some sort of faded connection, likely, some sort of moving forward. The wheel is turning. The wheel is always turning. This could be a stroke of luck for you because likely you've been coming from some difficult situations here with these two cards, given the fact that you've been put through a test, so to speak. And this is the divine basically stepping in and saying, okay, it's time for you to move forward. The star, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. This is likely to be a very healing connection. Both of you are put into each other's lives for a reason. You may have to make some sort of decision with the lovers. I'm not too sure what that decision will be about, but we'll see that in a second. We have the Knight of Swords. This could be an air sign that you're dealing with. Somebody who's going to be coming in very, very quickly. It's likely that this person is going to offer you something. This could be a very, very financially abundant union. Six of Swords here is about healing, about moving forward. Some of you may be traveling rather quickly with the Prince of Swords. And at the end of it all, we have the Nine of Cups. So some sort of wish fulfillment coming through here. A little more information about this spread here, Spirit. What do we need to know? If you guys are enjoying the content so far, please do hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel out with its growth, and it allows me to deliver messages just like this to people who are just like you, who are looking for a little more clarity in their lives. Okay, interesting. This connection may cause some stress, but it looks like you'll come out on the other end without any problems. No, that didn't feel right. Two cards flipped out. Just one more card here. We have the Nine of Swords that came out here. So some of you may be stressed out because of this connection. There may be something that comes up that may seem a little bit worrisome. Nine of Swords is about anxieties. Being very stuck in your head about things. We have the Six of Wands again. I think I'm going to clarify this to see what that's about then. And then we have the Prince of Cups. Somebody who's coming in with a romantic love offer, likely. After a period of deep anxiety, we did have the Mage. Somebody who was likely single for a while. Somebody who came out of, some of these people may have, I don't know why I'm getting, maybe came out of a marriage or something like that. What is this Six of Wands here? I'm curious because the Six of Wands has come out twice, so there may be some congruence between this Six of Wands here and that Six of Wands there. Queen of Wands. So we have a couple here. Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. That's the King of Cups in this particular deck, mind you. Six of Wands. Maybe one more card. I think what's going on here, you guys, is you're starting to finally know your worth. You're finally starting to understand the importance of yourself. You're finally letting go of things that no longer serve you with the Seven of Pentacles here. This card in this deck is referred to as failure. I think what you guys are doing, you're no longer investing in connections that don't make you feel good, which is fantastic. That's great. Some of you may be coming out of a period of sadness, of depression. Look at this. We got the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck while I'm saying that. Some of you may have had a very painful ending. But look at this. We do have the Six of Wands. You're leaving this in the past, and you're moving towards a water sign likely. There's a ton of different signs here. We got Sagittarius. We got Gemini, Aquarius. Knight of Swords is also Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Aries, Leo, Sag here with the King of Wands. Same thing with the Queen of Wands. And then we have the Earth signs here. And the water signs. Yeah, pretty much everybody. All right. Well then, let's go ahead and continue here and see what advice we have from our angels and ancestors and being called towards this particular deck. Some messages regarding this. This is fantastic. So you guys are doing the work, likely. And if you're not doing the work right now, you will be within the future. Remember, the tarot is also about predictions. I found myself actually revisiting some of my older tarot, older tarot videos that I used to watch. And a lot of I have a repeating cycle because I had a connection in the past where I had a very similar experience. To the one that I had more recently, And both of them were equally painful. But you know what? I'm thankful for both of them now. I was very upset about it at first, but now I'm incredibly thankful. Why? Because I learned something new about myself. I learned and healed and am healing parts of myself that I didn't know needed healing. And now, whenever that pattern reappears in my life, I'm going to say, no more of that. I recognize you. I've been there before. This isn't my first time round. What is that saying? Round the rodeo? I don't know. Don't listen to me. Let's see here. Angels and ancestors. What do we have? Messages for our lovely viewers here. Advice regarding this situation. Look at that druid. Hold the space. Some of you may be waiting for this. Pull from the bottom. Okay. Wow, look at this. Oof. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. That was a sigh of relief, guys. This is going to be a breath of fresh air for you, I'm getting. Bottom of the deck, we have Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. Look at that. What is it that you are looking for in relationship? What is it that, how would a good relationship make you feel? A good relationship does require effort, but it doesn't require hard work on your behalf, only on your behalf. If you feel at any given point that you are putting in more than your potential partner or the partner that you're currently with, whoever it is, and you feel you're not being honored, that person likely isn't good for you. Now, if you bring up this conversation and you're in commitment with them or a potential person, and there's no interest in moving forward, that person is likely not for you. One of the interesting realizations that I had as of late, when I would focus on a particular relationship and I told myself everything's going to be fine with this so-called person, like whoever it is, interestingly enough, I noticed the pattern that every night, if I went to bed thinking about that person or doing something in regards to that person, I couldn't sleep that night. And oftentimes, that's because the reality breaks through. That's what Nine of Swords is about. The reality breaking through. And you can't sleep at night because you're recognizing that that's not good for you. There's likely a lesson that's being, look at that tower at the bottom of the deck while I'm talking about that. There's likely a lesson to be learned there, and there's something that needs to be let go of. So be open to healing information. Medicine Guardian. For some of you, you may have to heal this on your own. You may not get the sense of closure that you're looking for if you are dealing with a person currently or in the past. Some people just simply don't want to talk out issues. Everybody deals with their problems in their own way. The person that needs to heal this, if you are on the spiritual journey, is you. Even if that means that you don't get the closure you're looking for, you create your own. Look at that. Take some time to mull it over. Why did I feel this way? Why did I allow this to happen? And don't, I wouldn't say beat yourself up about it. What I'm trying to convey here is that you should take a look at it objectively and say, what part did I have in that feeling? Oh, well, I felt that this person was basically not giving me the time of day, so that made me question my self-worth. Okay, so now we've identified, oh, this is a self-worth issue. I feel like I'm not being validated. I feel like I'm unimportant. And this likely comes from childhood wounds. Now, in my case, for example, I've shared this openly before. One of my parents was absent. The other one was emotionally detached. So my opinions didn't really matter, for one. And secondly, with the abandonment issues, it's like, oh, well, you're not loved. So then I would attract these people in my life that were the same pattern. People who didn't actually give a shit about me. Now, that isn't to say that, like I said, my last relationship taught me a lot because it was a person who actually deeply loved me. Why was I not emotionally completely available? It's because there was something within me that needed work. I wasn't ready for a relationship, and yet I forced myself into it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we're so fixated on love here that we, the lovers at the bottom of the deck. I shuffle, just because for fun here. But sometimes we're just so focused on others and wanting happiness here with the sun, happiness and love, that we don't recognize that the people that need the work are ourselves first. And then we can be in relationship. Then we can come into balance within ourselves and create the experience that we want. Great teacher here. Learn from spiritual experiences. Was I not saying this? If you're watching this, you guys are light workers, star seeds, those kind of people of that nature who are on the spiritual path, who are trying to understand themselves and trying to grow spiritually. But the question is, how committed are you? Because if you're vacillating, if you're like, I'm kind of in the journey, I'm kind of not, like I was, you're not really being spiritual. You're not getting into, you're not diving deep. You're not getting your hands dirty. You got to get your hands dirty. And oftentimes this comes with a lot of discomfort, right? I'm going to go ahead and read out of the book. Listen to this. So I went ahead and pulled up the book for the Druid. The message here: hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you are supposed to be. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. I was just talking about digging deep, guys. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic, just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. Wow. That is beautiful. So, some of you may be like anxious. Some of you may be going through the void. That's like the secondary step after the spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, void, and then I forgot the other two, but there's like 4 different stages. But the idea here is that you're in the right place. You're in the spot that you need to be in, guys. And look at this. Great teacher. Beautiful card. That dove and the what is that? The flower of life in the background there behind that dove. Love that sacred geometry. So know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. This card can represent a teacher in your life or the great teacher within. Either way, it shows that you have dedicated a lot of time and effort and energy to understanding yourself and the world. You are having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. There is a great chance that if you've been having any challenges recently, you've surmounted them and allowed them to be vehicles to lessons that are helping your spiritual connection. If you feel that you've received messages from heaven or the universe recently, this card is confirmation that these have indeed been holy experiences. Wow. This is why I felt the need to share this. This is why I couldn't go back to sleep, because I had to share my experiences and I had to share what was going on in my life. If you guys have been drawn to this video, it's likely that you're going through something similar, or this information is actually going to help heal you, because you're going to start seeing the patterns. When you start looking at the patterns and you say, no, I am done. I will no longer allow myself to give my power up with the soul retrieval card. It's time to bring back that power within. It's time for you to release yourself, to free yourself. I'm going to pull one more card, and then that'll be the end of the reading. So thank you guys so much for being here. For those of you viewing, for those of you who stick around for these, I know they're a bit lengthy, but you know what? They're chock full of information. I will be working on figuring out how to shorten these videos. It's just, I'm a very chatty person when I get started talking. I'm actually very introverted, but here I'm talking to you guys, but I'm behind a screen, so to speak, so it doesn't make me all that nervous. And I always had a propensity for like, okay, guess that card wanted to come out. Public speaking. Alrighty, so Camel Spirit. Listen to this, guys. I want to make sure you can see the camel in all its glory here. Okay. So a camel person, or like your energy right now, is somebody who's resourceful, independent, and somebody who knows themselves. So the camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. So when you're in balance with this energy, you're calm, content, and you have a sparkle in your eyes, so to speak. When you're out of balance, you could be dehydrated or lacking vitality. And to bring into balance, it's recommended you go on a pilgrimage, so to speak. So some of you may need a retreat. And a retreat doesn't have to be anything wild. For example, in my case, I haven't been engaging with the outside world. I haven't talked to anybody over the phone in a good week now. I've been just sitting at home thinking, meditating, trying to learn about myself, trying to understand why certain patterns are in my life, trying to understand why I attract narcissistic partners, third-party situations, all that stuff. I'm on the learning journey as well, and I want to share my experiences with you so that you guys can come out stronger. Maybe my story will help you move forward in your life. With that being said, talk about synchronicities, guys. I'm hoping you guys can see the synchronicities here. I have more of an affinity for the oracle cards than I do the tarot. I just do the tarot because it's very traditional, but I have a thing for oracle cards. I don't know what it is about them. But anyway, I digress. For those of you who stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope this information was incredibly valuable to you. I hope it helps you in some sort of way, any way, shape, or form. If you enjoyed the content and you found value, please do hit the like and subscribe button. As I said, it really does help the channel out, and it helps me get these messages out to people who are just like you, who could use a little bit of guidance in their lives. So I am sending you much love and light. Take care.